the story of the creation of the Colosseum. The Colosseum, known in ancient times as the Amphitheatrum Flavium, did not begin as a symbol of glory or timeless beauty. Its story starts in a Rome that was tired, damaged, and emotionally bruised. In the middle of the 1st century AD, the city had just survived one of its darkest chapters, the reign of Emperor Nero. After the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD, Nero built himself an enormous private palace, the Domus Aurea, Golden House, complete with gardens, artificial lakes, and extravagant halls. To many Romans, this palace felt like an insult, a ruler enjoying luxury while the city suffered. When Nero died in 68 AD, his memory became something the next rulers wanted to erase. Rome entered a short but violent period known as the Year of the Four Emperors. Out of this chaos emerged Vespasian, a practical military man who understood one important thing. Rome needed healing, not more ego. He wanted to return land taken by emperors back to the people. And so, on the site of Nero's artificial lake, Vespasian planned something radical: a massive public amphitheater, open to everyone. Construction of the Colosseum began around 70 to 72 AD, under Vespasian's rule. The decision itself was deeply political. By building a place for public entertainment where Nero's private luxury once stood, Vespasian sent a clear message. The emperor serves the people, not himself. This idea mattered just as much as the building itself. The scale of the project was unprecedented. The Colosseum was designed to be the largest amphitheater in the Roman world, capable of holding around 50,000 to 65,000 spectators. It was built mainly with concrete and stone, especially travertine limestone brought from quarries near Tivoli, about 30 kilometers away. Transporting these massive stones required an enormous workforce and advanced engineering. Tens of thousands of enslaved people, many of them prisoners taken after the Roman victory in the Jewish War, were forced to work on the construction. Architecturally, the Colosseum was a masterpiece of Roman innovation. Its elliptical shape allowed better crowd control and visibility from almost every seat. The outer walls rose 4 stories high and were decorated with arches framed by columns of different classical styles: Doric on the ground floor, Ionic on the second, and Corinthian on the third. This was not just decoration. It was Rome showing off its mastery of both engineering and art. Vespasian, however, never lived to see the Colosseum completed. He died in 79 AD, and the work was continued by his son, Emperor Titus. Under Titus, the structure was finished, and in 80 AD, the Colosseum was officially opened. The opening games lasted for 100 days, an almost unimaginable celebration. Ancient sources claim that thousands of gladiators and animals were killed during these games. While modern historians debate the exact numbers, there is no doubt that the scale of violence was enormous. These games were not random cruelty. In Roman society, gladiatorial contests and animal hunts had deep cultural meaning. They were displays of power, order, and control over chaos. The arena became a place where life and death were turned into spectacle, where the might of Rome was made visible through blood and discipline. The emperor, seated above the crowd, was both judge and provider, giving entertainment, food, and distraction to the masses. After Titus, his brother Domitian added important features to the Colosseum. He built the Hypogeum, a complex underground system of tunnels, lifts, cages, and trapdoors beneath the arena floor. This allowed animals and gladiators to appear suddenly, as if rising from the underworld itself. With these additions, the games became more theatrical and unpredictable, increasing their emotional impact on the audience. Over the centuries, the Colosseum remained at the heart of Roman public life. It hosted gladiatorial combats, executions, animal hunts, and even mythological reenactments. However, as the Roman Empire changed, so did the Colosseum's role. By the 5th century AD, gladiatorial games were banned, partly due to changing moral views influenced by Christianity. The building slowly lost its original purpose. Nature and time were not kind to the Colosseum. Earthquakes damaged its structure, and much of its stone was taken to build churches, palaces, and fortifications in medieval Rome. For a long time, it was seen less as a monument and more as a convenient quarry. Yet even in ruin, it never disappeared from Rome's identity. In later centuries, attitudes shifted. The Colosseum came to be seen as a sacred place, especially connected to Christian martyrs, Though historical evidence for large-scale martyrdom there is limited, still this belief helped protect what remained. By the modern era, the Colosseum had transformed into a symbol, not of violence, but of endurance. Today, when people stand before the Colosseum, they are not just looking at stone and arches, they are facing layers of history, imperial ambition, political strategy, human suffering, engineering genius, and the strange ability of a building to survive long after its original meaning has faded. The Colosseum was born from the desire to win public favor and erase a tyrant's memory, yet it outlived emperors, empires, and even its own purpose. In a way, the Colosseum is Rome itself, broken, reused, admired, misunderstood, but still standing. And maybe that is why it continues to draw people in. Not because it is perfect, but because it carries the weight of real human history, with all its contradictions carved into stone. And yeah, this is where the story pauses, not really ends. If you enjoyed this journey through time, hit the like button. It honestly helps more than you think. Subscribe if you want more stories like this, more history, more moments that still breathe through stone, and leave a comment. I'd love to know what part stayed with you the most, or what story we should explore next. See you in the next one.